macro and or counter. He might go for a counterattack because he doesn't really know what his opponent is on. Firebolt is just now putting down his expansion. So what this translates to is he has a handful of Marines, 3 Marauders, has a factory back at home, but his other 2 factories are in transit. The Siege Tank is out, which will basically secure him, or make it so that Zenidor cannot just outright kill Firebolt at this point in time. However, that does not mean that Zenidor isn't going to go for charge and just try and overrun his Terran opponent. Charge is a very good answer in this situation, because he is already Zealot heavy, and in the early game, Terrans, other than Widow Mines, don't really have an answer to charge. So the 2 Terran answers to charge are... there are a lot of Terran answers to charge, but it's kind of hard to get some of them in the early game. The easiest is Widow Mines, because they kill Zealots very fast. The next is Concussive Shells. But the issue with Concussive Shells is that you need Marauders, so then you're very gas dependent. And Marauders are not cheap, unlike a Widow Mine. And then finally, your last answer as a Terran is a protected Siege Tank, I guess. But that's really the thing. The Siege Tank has to be protected, so... I mean, there are a couple other ways you can deal with it. EMPs are great, but that's obviously not an early game option. EMPs are probably the best counter. Yeah. So with this Immortal out, that will basically divert all focus fire onto it, so that, and deal out enough damage that Zenidor can hold off this push. And Zenidor is probably just going to go for a counterattack soon. He is on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gateways. He has a forge, a robo, charge is done, and no proxy pylon though. So he's gonna need that somehow. Okay, his probe is moving out to put it down. Zenidor is not sure what he's up against, so he's taking the wrong way. I think Zenidor wants to get out of there. Put the time warp down. I think he wanted a recall. Oh, he knows he has charge down, and there's nothing to counter his charge right now. That's what he's doing. So I don't think I don't believe these have concussive shell. Yeah, there's no concussive shell done for Firebolt. All he has is stim, combat shields, and +1. None of which will help him against charge. This many charge lots, forget it. That siege tank is not in the proper position. It needs to be on the high ground behind this wall. Basically, as soon as the zealots rip through the marauders, I mean, maybe even before, they will target the siege tank. And the wall is down, so Zenidor is just going to push right into the main. The siege tank is not much help in this scenario because it does deal splash damage. It's going to go down to these zealots, or more aptly called charge lots. And Zenidor is just going to camp in the main here, where it's... I mean, this is a slaughter fest. Does Firebolt even have any... Okay, he has SCVs down at his natural, but these charge slots have killed everything, almost everything worker-wise in the main. They've torn up the army, and there's still some here. Not to mention whatever reinforcements from Zenidor hitting the natural. So, I mean, Firebolt is going to be down to no economy in, couple minutes. And, well, okay, he has a planetary fortress. So that should buy him some time. Good investment of 150 gas, but it looks like Xenodor might just break it. I can't tell. Okay, Firebolt is responding properly, which is to repair this. He does have enough repairing capacity, I think. I think Xenodor is going to back off, realizing that it's being repaired. I'm trying to load the... There we go. I'm not finding what I'm looking for right now. But Xenodor is going to go for another attack. I think at this point Xenodor knows that his economy is better. So he means to just keep putting pressure on Firebolt until he breaks him. He's not necessarily wanting to take bad trades, but he's not... I don't think his mentality is that he has to take the best of trades. He should probably pull back at this point, as he's lost all his zealots and there are 2 siege tanks here. He just lost his immortal, and this is going south. Let's see, what does Xenodor have behind this? Scan goes down. I'm guessing he's scanning the army. Yeah, he's trying to, at least. Xenodor is going to evacuate his probe. I don't know if he's going to try and defend that. I don't think he should. No, he's not going to. And Xenodor is just going to go home then. Another scan. Xenodor has not started researching any upgrades from his forge, so I'm not really sure what he has it for. Maybe I think he's just forgotten to use it. Xenodor's actually taken his 3rd. Okay. Okay, Xenodor. I guess he feels that, I mean, he isn't so far ahead economically speaking that he can just do that. Xenodor is still up in supply, only by a little bit, but enough that, I mean, basically what's making the supply even? These siege tanks. Siege tanks are slow. What does Xenodor have? He has 2 immortals and he can warp in charge lots, so he doesn't care about siege tanks. He has 2 different things that counter siege tanks. Which I think is a serious oversight from Firebolt. He really should have Widow Mines instead of siege tanks. He's facing a Protoss. Siege tanks are maybe one for the high ground, but against Protoss, the siege tanks are largely useless. There are circumstances that they are nice, but basically any Robotech, which most Protoss use against Terran, will shut down siege tanks relatively efficiently. And then, I mean, especially if the Protoss decides to be working on charge. Xenodor needs to get some army together, though, given that he's about to be attacked. Let's see, what does Xenodor see? Doesn't see anything yet. He's put photon cannons in all his mineral lines. I guess he doesn't want any Widow Mine drops after the opening of this game. And it looks like Firebolt is just going to go for his attack now. I think he should be able to get something done. I'm not really sure what he means to get done. But he should get something done. Exactly what I do not know. Well, +1 armor is just about done for Zenidor, so if Firebolt doesn't go now, he's gonna find himself in a rather annoying position, because basically that will nullify his +1 attack. He does have 1-1, so Zenidor's army will be less effective against Firebolt's than it was in the last engagement, but these charge lots are just ripping through the siege tanks, and with the immortal support, it just makes cleaning this up so much easier. Photon Overcharge has gone down at the natural. Oh, he still has 3 siege tanks, so it is going alright. I like the positioning, the directionality of this mothership. I don't know if it was intentional for Zenidor, but basically, it's like there are no Marines here for Firebolt because of the angle that Zenidor took initially. Finally, all but 1 siege tank has been cleaned up. Gosh. Hang on. Firebolt is going to realize that he actually can't get anything done here. So he's going to back up. So, I mean, this was a very nice defense from Zenidor. He had army on both sides and a lot of charge lots, so something tipped Zenidor off, and he defended that well. I mean, he basically just suffered some minimal army loss. Firebolt is going to go for another attack now, and with these 2 photon cannons already done, and the healthy zealot army coming from the natural, Zenidor might lose a couple production facilities, but he's not going to lose his base. These charge lots are going to clean everything up here, and so the rest of this Bioforce is just going to have to evacuate immediately. Firebolt might think of dropping the main, but I think Zenidor is already on it. Yeah, he can't drop there. There are zealots. You drop anything, they'll die before they shoot. So Firebolt is forced to return home, having accomplished nothing, throwing away a large portion of his army, and being on an inferior economy. So I'm afraid his one opening for attack was simply missed. With the armor upgrade completing for Zenidor, and just good map awareness, he was able to that attack that was supposed to at least take out his natural from the angle it came in at. And really, because Firebolt was behind, he had to do something. And he didn't. If he had had Widow Mines, that would have been much harder for Zenidor to clean up. No. I mean, it is technically, but no, not yet. So my sister's asking if the game is over, if you guys can't hear her, and basically, it kind of is. Zenidor... Oh, was this Observer here earlier?
I know that Observer's been around for a while.
I wonder if Zenidor saw the army and that's what happened. It's possible. This map is often played on, so I'm sure Zenidor is used to the various locations the army can attack from. This Colossus really needs to get home. It is naked.